From social media pranksters that ended up serving up to 7 years in prison, to a man who chose 5 years in prison instead of just dealing with traffic delays, these aren't the dumbest criminals that Penguinz0, aka Moist Critical, has ever called out on his YouTube channel. Starting with Corey Harris, a man who joined a Zoom court hearing for driving with a suspended license, but in the most absurd way possible, making Charlie say, "I can't believe someone is this dumb."
A gentleman was scheduled to appear in court over Zoom about a suspended driver's license. And he does his due diligence as any good citizen would. He joins the Zoom meeting. However, he joined while driving with a suspended license, which the whole hearing was about, leaving the entire court stunned.
Charlie then proceeded to play out the video, which still made him laugh despite rewatching it.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
It's an auto-driving vehicle, Your Honor. I'm here babysitting it.
And it wasn't just Charlie that found this to be totally hilarious, because as the hearing proceeded, the judge himself couldn't help but laugh about the scenario. But after the lawyer formally introduced the case to the court, the judge quickly realized that the situation was more dangerous than it was funny, as proven by how drastically his facial expression changed.
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks if the court would allow.
Oh my god, that was the most aggressive frown I've ever seen. He is mean mugging so hard. Cedric Simpson is fucking... He's got like a cartoonish frown. That's like an emoji frown.
And when the judge finally addressed the elephant in the room, what followed was one of the most awkward silences in these types of Zoom court hearing videos.
So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And he was just driving. He didn't have a license.
That is with the charges, Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at
Yes.
his record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Well, he's listening. Say it to him.
Corey, the defendant, tried to awkwardly raise his hand to perhaps explain himself.
He raised his hand. Can you ask him a question, Your Honor? Is this real? Is this fucking real? Wait, Tampa Bay. It's just complete fucking silence that has fallen on the courtroom. This guy's doing his best to keep it together. Her as well.
But even after much contemplation, his lawyer simply advised him to be silent.
Hello?
Hey. How's it going, Corey?
1 minute, Mr. Harris.
Some people online highlighted how awkward it must have been to be in the lawyer's shoes in the courtroom, stating, "I feel so bad for his lawyer, dude. She probably had a whole thing planned out too." But most people were just applauding how entertaining this Zoom hearing was, writing, "I love how the judge was holding back laughter because that's just so unbelievably dumb." And someone even made an imaginary statement for the lawyer. "My client pleads stupid, Your Honor." And from that point on in the video, the hearing quickly went downhill for the defendant.
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is turning himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today.
Can you get his side of the story, please, Your Honor?
Result in a bench warrant with no bond. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Harris, I'll be giving you a call.
Okay.
As his bond was revoked, Corey Harris reportedly spent 2 days at the Washington County Jail. And as the story spread across the internet like wildfire, Harris claimed that he had no idea that he was driving on a suspended license back in October when he was first ticketed by Pittsfield Township Police, to which the hearing was supposed to address. He thought the suspension was tied to unpaid child support that had been lifted 2 years ago back in January of 2022, which court records also backed. However, Judge Cedric Simpson later stepped up and clarified that Harris never had a license to begin with. He has reportedly gotten a new state ID every year, and according to the law, in Michigan, You cannot hold both a valid Michigan driver's license and an ID from the state at the same time. Here's how one comment described this turn of events. This case had a better evolution than anything Pokemon has put out in the past decade. But speaking of evolution, social media influencers have long evolved to push past limitations, even the legal ones, in their attempt to chase views. As Charlie exposed in his video, 3 years in jail for TikTok prank. Here's how Penguinz0 kicked off the video.
But what about going to jail for 3 years? Does that sound reasonable for TikTok views in exchange for that prison sentence? How bad do you want it? What's your limit? Would you throw away 3 years of your life just for a few TikTok likes? If your answer to that question is no, you're a pussy, you're a coward, and you will never make it as a viral TikTok superstar sensation like this guy and his friends. I'm kind of underselling the story. Not only did the main guy in this video get 3 years, but his 2 friends that helped him make it got 2 years in prison. So check this out.
The prank was recorded on a tramway in Casablanca, Morocco in May of 2021. And surprisingly, the creator in the video was not arrested shortly after the act. And as he'd hoped for, the video, including reposts of it, racked up millions of views. However, unfortunately for him, that fame did not go down as he expected. Not only was he mocked by people online who commented, "I'm Moroccan, and the funny thing is that he didn't even get any actual clout from this. His name wasn't mentioned at all in the media." But within days of the video being uploaded, he was also arrested by Morocco's police to face charges of obstructing the movement of a means of public transport, which according to Moroccan law, could send suspects to up to 10 years in prison. A month later, the court handed a 3-year prison sentence to the culprit responsible for hampering the tramway traffic, while the other 2 defendants, the one who gave him the coffee cup and the guy filming, were each sentenced to 2 years in prison. Not only that, but he also ended up on Penguinz0's radar, who didn't shy away from mocking his lame attempt at looking cool.
What an epic prank, am I right? That shit was too lit. I almost spit out my apple juice. They got him good. Those fucking idiots never even saw it coming. So he decided, let's smoke it up a little bit. The train, it doesn't matter. So he stops it. He says, hey, public transportation can suck on my fucking asshole. And that's exactly what they do. And now he'll be sucking on some buttholes in prison. This happened in Morocco. He was originally facing 5 to 10 years in jail, but that sentence was lightened to 3 years, and his 2 friends that helped him film this have 2 years in jail now. And I gotta say, it was worth it. This is the coolest video I've ever seen in my life. I'm sure that all the other inmates are gonna be blown away by this dude's TikTok clout. They won't be able to get enough of his stories about this video going viral. Oh man, they're gonna love that.
But he also pointed out how the 2 friends that supported this prank were likely getting the worst end of the bargain, as they got serious consequences despite not even getting any clout.
But I think the saddest people in this video are the one filming and the one that give him the coffee cup. These 2 goofy goobers got 2 years in jail and got none of the internet points for it. They didn't even have their names associated with this. They were faceless nobodies who got roped into this guy's awful, dumb fucking TikTok video and are now going to jail for 2 years for it, with none of the minor celebrity status attached to it. They got nothing. They're going to jail because they couldn't tell their friend that the idea was fucking stupid.
Charlie also couldn't help but mock clout-chasing creators in general, saying,
and since everything becomes a trend on TikTok, and this was a very popular video, I'm shocked it didn't become a trend. I thought for sure this would be like the hashtag stop a train trend, where you like go on the tracks and you throw your ass in a circle, clapping your cheeks to some pop song and hope that the train stops, and then people just getting blasted by trains going all over the news. I'm actually surprised that didn't happen.
But he wrapped up this video saying he thinks the creator deserved all the punishment he and his friends got.
So yeah, I definitely think the punishment fits the crime here. 3 years sounds reasonable, 2 years for his friends. I'm glad all the douchebags got thrown into the slammer. Huge round of applause to that decision made over there.
Though this trio was only a small fraction of all creators affected by what Charlie refers to as an attention-seeking disease, because some YouTubers even risk facing 7 years in jail for a YouTube prank. YouTube couples Saucy and Honey uploaded a video in February 2022 documenting how they illegally spent 24 hours hiding inside a Target store. But although the couple seemed extremely proud of themselves for pulling off this video,
we successfully completed our overnight challenge in Target!
Charlie had the opposite reaction to this incredibly outdated prank.
They pulled off the most epic prank this world's ever seen. They did a 24 hours in Target challenge, or prank. You know that trend that every 16-year-old was doing on YouTube back in 2017? Yeah, they did that like 4 days ago. I don't know why they chose this prank. It died like 5 years ago. They're very tardy to the party, but they seem to desperately try and suckle any amount of dust they can out of the dry titties of this garbage-ass trend from a time long since forgotten. And they're paying the price for it. They got fucked in the ass.
He was talking about how these creators were eventually arrested and charged with third-degree criminal trespassing and conspiracy, which, if convicted of, could make them face up to 7 years in prison. Now, Charlie was fairly confident that there's no way these YouTubers would actually serve the 7 years parroted by the media.
So even if they somehow do escape the prison time, which I imagine they will, I don't think they're actually going to spend 7 years in jail.
But he still described them as prime examples of his uniquely coined modern disease before making fun of how this couple creates their YouTube videos in the first place.
They clearly have a disease. It's called terminal clout hunger, and unfortunately, it's a plague, and it's been spreading for quite some time on the internet now.
Get okay, what's up, Fascination Empire? And your girl, Honey, my baby! Okay, guys, sorry we're rushing through this intro. It is 9:37. It is 9:37 at night.
Honestly, they should have slapped on an additional criminal charge for how dog shit their videos are. I swear to God, it's gotta be a human rights violation to have an intro this annoying. All of their videos start like this. It is painful. Sticking my head in a fucking dump truck while it's compacting garbage would be less miserable.
And how they think being entertainers gives them a pass to do illegal things that everyone else should not.
You guys do not attempt what we attempt at home. We are entertainers.
Listen here, goofballs, don't try what we're about to do at home, you dumb assholes. We're professional entertainers willing to risk life and limb for your entertainment. Immediately gets arrested, faces 7 years in jail for this shit. I don't know what she was thinking. This isn't exactly like a defense, right? It's still a crime no matter what. Just because you consider yourself an entertainer doesn't mean that you're all of a sudden immune to repercussions of a crime.
Charlie's sentiments here were also echoed by the people online, with some saying, "You're not entertainers, you idiots. You're going to have a hard time in jail." But what further damaged the couple's public image, aside from the fact that they committed a crime, was how they lied to their viewers, with Charlie and news outlets exposing how they simply stayed inside the store for a couple of hours, not 24 hours as they promised in the title and thumbnail.
And they didn't actually even spend 24 hours in the facilities they said they did. They just stay for long enough to get footage and then leave.
Surveillance video from inside the store shows them wandering around various sections while recording video of themselves. While LaRose and Fisher told viewers that they spent the night in Target, police say they left through an emergency exit around 3 a.m. and tripped the alarm. But the couple returned to the store when it opened to the public to resume recording their video.
What? They lied? They didn't actually spend 24 hours in the Target? What the fuck? That's gotta be the worst offense of all. You know, I could excuse the criminal trespassing and all that. I could even excuse the abominable intro to their videos, but the fact that you're gonna come in here and tell me you spent 24 hours in Target when you only spent like, what, 2.5? Oh my god. I spit on that absolute garbage. They could have at least had the courtesy to spend the whole night there, because at that point, now not only do you go down looking like a stupid asshole, but now you go down as a stupid lying asshole as well.
But unlike this couple who decided to speedrun their crime, the next criminal on this list went viral and gained attention for what might be the slowest robbery ever. Here's how Charlie sarcastically introduced this robber.
Every time you see a robbery in a movie or something, it's always super impressive. They'll have like these incredibly well laid out plans, full-blown Ocean's 11 type shit where they'll have like a getaway driver, 15 aerospace engineers on standby just in case they need them. They'll have like Jimmy Neutron in the lab cook up some crazy device to break into the big vault for millions of dollars, and it just always seems like, damn. But then when you watch like a heist or a robbery in the real world, it's nothing like the movies most of the time. And today I saw a robbery that I think is probably one of the worst ones ever recorded. It is just, I feel bad for the guy. Like, watching him rob it is agonizing because it's so incredibly slow. This dude robbed a Little Caesars in like -5 times speed. I felt like I was watching an NFL replay while watching this man try and rob the cash register. They filmed him for over 1 minute and 30 seconds. He just sat there trying to rob them.
Then he proceeded to play the actual video of the robbery.
This guy's coming in here not even trying to disguise himself. Like, he didn't even bother to cover his face. He put on sunglasses, but they're too loose and they keep falling off. It's a disaster.
This excruciatingly slow pace made Charlie refer to it as,
It's like robbery ASMR.
and the people to comment, "This robbery wasn't a hit and run. This was a slap and walk." But really, the slow pace was just one of the many incredibly dumb things the robber did in the video. Because after successfully yanking the cashier box open, the robber ended up with so little money that even the staff couldn't believe how little money he was going to get from his heist.
I absolutely love that response from the employees. No, I just work here. Like, I'm not gonna risk my life. I'm not gonna beat this man's ass. And that's the right way of handling things. Just the employees like, hey, all right, you're robbing it? Okay, I'm not gonna stop you. I'll just call the police, which they do. And then they just sit here and record all of it for evidence. And this man just keeps flashing the camera with his whole goddamn face. They did the absolute perfect thing here in this situation.
Yo, that's all you gonna take? Don't touch me, don't touch nothing.
That's not all, as he even meticulously wiped his fingerprints off the cashier box, despite the fact that a camera had been pointing at his face the entire time.
Don't touch nothing, bro. Don't touch nothing. No fingerprints, huh? Yes. Yes, bro.
This is where it gets so good. So this guy with all 3 brain cells and every neuron in that goddamn barren wasteland of a head starts firing, and he's like, oh my god, I left my fingerprints at the scene. I know what happens next. I've watched CSI Miami. So he goes back in and tries to wipe down the register, as if the fingerprints are the main concern here, even though he's flashed his whole face with no sunglasses to the camera like 8 times by now. So he goes in and tries to clean the scene. Very thorough job too, but greed gets the best of him. He became gluttonous, so he goes in for more money, leaving more prints. Yeah, so he grabbed an extra like $3 there and then tried to wipe down those extra prints, but kept missing the areas that his greasy paws were touching, and then just skedaddles in the slowest getaway of all time.
That's all you gonna take?
Now, it wasn't just Charlie that found this quote-unquote heist absolutely hilarious, as people online also couldn't stop making fun of his futile efforts, writing, "I like how he uses his shirt in an attempt to remove his fingerprints. Like the fact that he's practically moving in slow motion and being filmed means nothing. Criminal mastermind right here, folks." And another person stating, "The fact that the employees actually asked, 'Is that all you're gonna take?' That's crazy. Dude walked out of there with just enough money for the vending machine." Charlie ended the video as such.
But you could also see that the customer that had come in while the guy was still robbing them was really contemplating if it was worth beating this guy's ass. He could have easily snapped him in half, I think, and then he even wandered out the door a bit to contemplate further, but the employees are like, bro, it's really not worth it. And it wasn't, he didn't need to beat his ass. This was far more embarrassing than any ass beating could have been. So hopefully that customer also did get like some pizza or something, and they all just laughed about it. What a remarkably embarrassing robbery, and I just wanted to share this today because it put a smile on my face, so...
And speaking of crime so dumb that Penguinz0 couldn't help but laugh, that leads us to the guy who drove straight through a police station wall while blasting his incredibly loud music.
We have the story of a man in New Jersey who crashed his car through a police station while listening to Welcome to the Jungle. So I'm guessing he had that song cranked to max volume and the adrenaline was pumping in his body. The song was reaching its crescendo. It's about to go into the chorus, and then this guy's eyes roll into the back of his skull. Welcome to the Jungle summons the spirit of Evil Knievel, takes the wheel. The demon of speed is there, puts the pedal to the metal, and just crashes into the police station. And then he, celebrates, kind of.
Here's the actual video of the incident, which looks so dumb that calling the guy a criminal almost feels wrong. The guy crashed into the station while blasting Guns N' Roses. And with his hands held up immediately after leaving the car, the police apprehended him in the most effortless way possible. However, regardless of how seemingly random his actions were, the charges against him were no joke.
He is facing potentially life in prison, not only for this incident, but he actually did something very similar previous to this.
According to the police, just minutes before Hargreaves crashed his car into the station, he also crashed his gold Toyota SUV into the garage door of a private residence, trying to scare or harass the homeowner, whom Hargreaves knew. And this back-to-back into wall crashing endeavor landed him charges ranging from burglary, possession of a weapon for an unlawful purpose, aggravated assault, and worst of all, terrorism, which on its own carries a minimum sentence of 30 years and a maximum sentence of life in prison. And here's what Penguinz0 had to say.
So this fucking dangerous, unhinged goofball treats motor vehicles like they're missiles. He is just blasting these into any building. Nowhere is safe. The punishment fits the crime here. It's not like these are exaggerated charges. He just blindly blasted his vehicle into this building. He had no idea if there was going to be people on the other side of it, which could have easily killed people. So yeah, all of these charges really fit the crime. He is not safe to be in society, especially not behind the wheel of a vehicle.
Despite the severity of the charges, most people who watch Penguinz0's commentary just found this to be a very interesting case, with the top comment being, well, let's be honest, go to prison for crashing your car into a police station while blasting Welcome to the Jungle has got to get you mad respect in prison. And others joked about how this guy just speed ran the world record for committing a crime, getting arrested, and being taken into custody. Now, it was never disclosed why Hargreaves did the actions he did, but Charlie had his own theories about why this man may have done his dumb life-risking actions.
Now, they haven't disclosed what the motive could have possibly been for crashing into the police station, but here's where I come into the equation, because I'm about to crack this case wide open. This is what I think happened, so let's piece together what we know for sure. His first crash into the private residence was due to a disagreement with the owner, and it was meant to scare and harass them. I think right after he committed to that, he knew shit was not going to go well for him, so he wanted to go out with a bang. So then he drove a few minutes away to the police station and turned himself in the only way he knew how, with Welcome to the Jungle sending him off like a WWE walkout song and a giant fucking explosion here of crashing through the building. I think his motive was truly he had just ruined his life prior by crashing through the private residence, and he just decided to go all in into the lunacy and then crash through the police station.
And just like Hargreaves was busting walls left and right, these 3 TV robbers that Penguinz0 covered also ended up shattering a wall of glass. Only the very shards of that glass contributed to their series of failures during the robbery.
You're about to see a robbery that's extremely nostalgic. It's a brand new robbery, but it elicits a feeling of nostalgia. It reminds me of the first Fast and Furious movie where they were stealing DVD players. These gentlemen are attempting to steal this TV off the wall, which I find super odd because no one really steals TVs anymore. They're very hard to move, they're less expensive than something smaller like an iPhone, and just really don't see a lot of TVs being stolen anymore.
Charlie doesn't go into too much detail on where or how this robbery took place. But according to reports, the TV robbery took place at a real estate office in Ribeirão Preto in Brazil. It all started with one member of the trio pulling up in their car in front of the targeted property at around 4 in the morning and immediately breaking through the glass door to enter the premises. But what came next was fitting for Charlie to label as the worst robbery of the year.
Unfortunately, the security camera doesn't capture any sound, but if it did, you'd probably be hearing the Benny Hill theme being played over the loudspeaker, and this guy right here that's fucking DJ turntabling the TV on the wall shouting for help. Luckily, there was a vigilante in the area hearing the cries, but I guess those windows must be clean as shit because he thought that one was open instead of the broken one next to him, so he hits that like a dog trying to come inside but hitting a glass door. The cavalry arrives and they get their third friend opening the trunk, which is just very overconfident, thinking they're actually going to get this TV off here. And this must be just the slipperiest goddamn glass of all time. It's like they're on an ice skating rink. Now finally, after windmilling the TV for 30 seconds, they finally rip that bitch off the wall and luckily break it immediately so they get nothing out of this, and they keep slipping and sliding all over the place. It's like there's fucking butter on the bottom of their shoes. Then finally the mastermind, the supervillain, the real muscle behind the operation hops in the driver's seat and peels out. They may have left empty-handed, but at least their pride is intact. Their spirits were probably still high, and I imagine they drove away looking for the nearest Radio Shack or Blockbuster to rob next.
This robbery took place on August of 2019, and the real estate agents reported that they had been the target of thieves 3 times since May 2018 and had suffered losses in the region of almost $8,500. This time, the robbery attempt cost them more than $3,000 in damages for the heavily damaged television and the broken glass door. But at the very least, this time the thieves did not benefit from the crime. Instead, all they became was a laughingstock online, with people describing their heist as, "This wasn't even a robbery, this was just an attack on a window and TV." And someone else saying, "This robbery was so poorly executed, it's almost criminal." This was also how Charlie described the trio for the last time.
I don't know if they got caught or anything, but I imagine if they did, they'd probably just immediately go to jail and hope that the video never surfaces. Like they're in the fucking courtroom. I didn't do it. Well, we have video, you did it. Fuck it, don't show it. I did it. Just please don't show it. It's gotta be real fucking embarrassing.
However, thieves do not need to pull over-the-top robbery moves to still look incredibly dumb, as proven by Juliana Sagaram, a DoorDash driver who faked delivering food to casually steal packages from porches, but instead, a Ring camera was recording the entire time.
I'm kidding, it's actually a really fucking stupid idea. I'll just go ahead and show you the news segment on it.
Dash driver arrested. Police say she was caught on camera instead of delivering. Juliana Sagaram stole a package, as you see right there, from a Manhasset home last month. Video shows a woman walking up to the doorstep on Highland Terrace holding a brown paper bag there, and police telling us it was a Chipotle order she was supposed to deliver nearby. Neighbors say this is unbelievable.
Charlie went over to what Juliana was likely thinking when she planned this porch theft, saying,
And I guess her whole idea was, if she's in the middle of a food delivery, no one would think twice about her going up to the front of a house, and then she could make a getaway with the package without anyone stopping her. So it seems the whole idea was to avoid suspicion by having a good cover story. No, I'm not here to steal packages. I'm here to deliver food. You're out of order. You lost your marbles. But she failed to account for modern technology, where most people have like Ring doorbells now or anything that records video outside their home, because of the rising problem of porch pirates.
But unfortunately for her, not only did this risky move of hers fail, but she also got arrested and was charged with 2 counts of petite larceny. As apart from the recorded porch theft at 4:34 p.m., investigations revealed that Juliana also committed a similar crime at 5 p.m. Even worse, on top of her actual crime, her complete name and face were broadcast by top news outlets across the country, including the New York Post and Fox 5, leaving a dent in her social media presence and reputation forever. At the very least, though, her crime did not require her to serve time in jail, and she was only issued an appearance ticket, because the next man Charlie covered, Sidney Meekum, preferred to commit a crime deserving of a 5-year sentence rather than wait for several minutes due to parade-related road closures. And there's no better way to introduce this dumb criminal than to listen to Charlie himself.
What makes you mad more than anything in the world? What gets under your skin and just ticks you off? Because for one unhinged psychopath, the answer to this question was so baffling, he ends up throwing his life away for something extremely insignificant. We've all got mad at small things, right? Trivial shit that doesn't matter, whether it's, getting killed in a video game that you think is the result of lag, or maybe someone gives you some goofy eyeballs and you don't like the way they look at you and it makes you feel a little uneasy and it makes you upset perhaps. We've all got mad at something mundane. But one man in Oregon just got so upset that a parade forced him to go on a bit of a detour that he decided to fucking bulldoze through the blockade and then drive through the parade, nearly hitting people, including children, and will now likely spend the rest of his life behind bars, rightfully so. This is an individual with a severe case of stick-it-to-the-man-neosis. He fucking lost his mind and filmed himself doing it the entire time, by the way, all because of a slight detour for a parade.
As he rewatched the clip, Penguinz0 did verify that the aggressive driver actually did not hit anyone.
Dashcam footage obtained by NBC affiliate KGW submitted by prosecutors.
Brave showing it. No, he doesn't hit anyone. I don't exactly. They said road rage, but I don't exactly know what it was in particular. But for some reason, he just drives to the parade and then just drives fucking through it. It's crazy. It was unhinged.
Frustrated, stuck in traffic due to road closures clearing the way for Portland's Grand Floral Parade. His anger boiling over.
They got it all blocked off. The Lloyd Center exit, the Convention Center exit.
Wait, so this was all over the road being blocked off for a parade? Holy shit. I don't think I've ever been that mad over anything in my life. Jesus, he's got that bitch up on 2 wheels. God damn. Like I said, he doesn't hit anyone, but look at this shit. That's terrifying.
However, here's what he had to say to people who mentioned that Meekum shouldn't be punished just because no one got hurt.
Now, there was one intellectual in chat last night that for some reason his comment was so stupid that it's sticking with me and just marinating in my brain about this story. He said, "Why is he getting punished? No one got hurt." Brother, let me sit you down in the stupid chair real quick. You can't bulldoze through a blockade. There is a scene, like straight out of an old 90s action film, where he like ramps his car up on 2 fucking wheels in order to squeeze through the blockade more efficiently and blast through the parade. You can't do that because you're endangering all the lives around you. I can't believe that even needs explaining in any capacity at all. It blows my mind that I even need to tell you why that's bad. Especially when we've already seen a couple times in the past someone using their vehicle as a weapon during parades where they hit and kill people. Even if his goal wasn't the attempted murder of people at the parade, he almost hit people, and this easily could have ended up in a situation where he did hit, harm, or even kill people from this reckless action. So just because he narrowly avoided a fatal catastrophe doesn't mean that he shouldn't be punished. He is not fit to be in society.
And Charlie mentioning that this guy isn't fit for society is not just because of this road rage. He was already charged with multiple crimes in 1996 and was once again convicted of sexually assaulting a child in 2016, along with various traffic cases over the past decade prior to the incident. When Charlie covered this case, Meekum initially pleaded not guilty to all charges associated with his road rage.
The Lloyd Center exit, the Convention Center exit.
Wait, so this was all over the road being blocked off for a parade?
A choice that welcomed tons of criticism his way, including sarcastic comments like, "Nice of this guy to record himself committing the crime and still plead not guilty. Genius." And more serious accusations like, "The part where he's clearly considering running people down on purpose just before leaving the area is so insane. Like he genuinely believes that somehow every person attending the parade is there to intentionally and very personally ruin his commute. The level of delusional narcissism required to think like this is just unfathomable to me." However, Meekum did eventually plead guilty for driving through the Grand Floral Parade route and was sentenced to 5 years in prison for it. But that still doesn't erase how dumb it seemed for him to spend 5 years in prison instead of just trying to calm himself like everyone else anytime there's any minor traffic delays.
All of this over having to just be slightly inconvenienced because of a detour due to a parade. It's fucking crazy. There are absolute lunatics out there. It's frightening. Just wanted to talk about it a little bit. That's it. So, yeah.
Though even this driver with serious anger management issues would seem more normal, if we compare him to the drunk driver, whom Charlie has labeled to be the dumbest person ever and introduced as such.
It's a drunk driver from Illinois. She killed 2 people and couldn't stop giggling about it and couldn't register that she wasn't going to be able to go to school the following day or get her car back. So there's body cam footage that has now just come out, even though this incident took place last year. She received 14 years for this, which I think is just not enough. I've been very vocal about my disdain for drunk drivers. I hate drunk drivers more than Garfield hates Mondays. It is a purely unforgivable act. It is selfish, dangerous, and there's no excuse for it ever. Especially in today's society where there's Uber, Lyft, a taxi, calling a friend. You can easily find transportation to get home that doesn't involve putting everyone's life at risk on the road. And this lady killed 2 people while drunk driving. Just normal, innocent people that did nothing wrong, and not only did she kill them, she couldn't stop laughing about it, just having a giggle fit like she was in a tickle fight. The body cam footage released, and it is disgusting.
Keep your head straight. Okay. Head straight. Yeah, I told you it's fine. I'd rather do the walking.
Okay, go up. Keep your head straight, just look up with your eyes.
She's reacting to a fatal accident like a child reacts to a clown at a birthday party, and she was informed that 2 people involved here died, and she truly just couldn't give less of a fuck about any of that.
Oh, hey, you never answered me about my car, and I have school tomorrow, so how do I get my car for tomorrow?
Well, your car is totaled.
It's what?
Your car is totaled. Totaled, wrecked.
The criminal featured in this video is Stephanie Melgoza, who was a 24-year-old student when she struck and ended the lives of 2 pedestrians while driving drunk in April of 2022. According to her reports, her blood alcohol level at the time of arrest was measured to be more than 3 times the legal limit, but Charlie pointed out that her drunkenness was no excuse for how indifferent and careless she acted immediately after her arrest.
They then get to this point in the video where the officer and her are in the room, and she doesn't like the silence, so she says that she's gonna start singing. So she starts flexing the golden pipes with some of the worst fucking singing you'll ever hear. It's not really singing, it's more like some kind of Gregorian chant if it was being farted out of a walkie-talkie, and she starts dancing like she's in some kind of trance. But regardless, she starts boogieing down and singing. She's treating this whole situation like she's at fucking Mardi Gras. Like it's like she's celebrating that she had just killed 2 people as if it was some kind of fucking sacrifice, and she's happy about the whole situation. It's not even that she's not registering it, she actively doesn't care, which is completely different. Yes, she is beyond drunk, clearly, but she is aware of what has happened. He has told her multiple times she understands why she's there, and just actually doesn't give a fuck.
Okay, so how do I do it for
You don't.
So, I don't go to school tomorrow, is what you're telling me?
You brain dead fucking worm. Obviously you're not going to school tomorrow, you just killed 2 people in a drunk driving accident. This isn't GTA where you can just reset and undo what happened here. You took 2 people's lives away because you're a fucking ridiculously stupid idiot. Like, holy shit. And the only thing that she can even process is that this might be an inconvenience to her because she has school tomorrow and she doesn't want to miss class.
No, ma'am. You want me to be honest with you? You're going to jail, you don't have a bond, you killed 2 people tonight. I don't think you understand that. You do not have a bond, you are not getting out of jail. Your car is property of East Peoria Police Department because it's a crime scene. It killed 2 people tonight. You are clueless with that, clearly. I've already explained this to you. You're going to jail for reckless homicide tonight. You're going to jail for aggravated DUI for killing 2 people. That's what's going on. So no, you're not going to school tomorrow. You're not getting your car out of impound.
Can I have a Tuesday for my night class?
How this officer didn't just stand up and flip a chair over out of frustration is beyond me. Just watching this had me want to flip a table like I had just lost a game of chess and got upset about it. He just laid down all of the brass tacks here, explained the situation for the fucking 50th time already, and once again, she still only cares about her standing, about being able to go to class. So then she says, well, what about Tuesday? You know, like, as if she thought she'd only spend like 24 hours in jail or something after killing 2 people. Like, okay, you know, I'll do the time for the crime. Oh, okay, I get it. Punishment is necessary. So 24 hours, right? Tuesday I can get my car? We can just go ahead and magically put my car back together even after it's been totaled after my drunk driving accident that took away 2 people's lives?
The police officer at the time calmly reiterated her crimes to her, but all she seemed to care about was getting back to school, completely disregarding the lives that she just ended.
Did you just hear what I just told you?
You said I'm not going tomorrow. I'm talking about Tuesday.
Did you hear when I said
You
that
said
you...
I'm going to jail tomorrow.
You're going to jail when we're done here?
Yes.
Did you understand what I told that you killed 2 people tonight?
Yes. I'm just wondering when I can go to school.
Okay, we're done.
Once again, she is hearing him loud and clear. She is acknowledging that she is hearing that she is responsible for the death of 2 people. She just doesn't care. They could have brought the corpses in and she probably would have let out a hearty belly laugh like Santa Claus. She doesn't fucking care. She didn't know them personally, thus their life is meaningless to her. The only thing that matters is now it might be somewhat of an inconvenience because she thinks she might not be able to go to school tomorrow or even on Tuesday now. So now she's starting to get a little panicked because, oh, she's gonna miss her fucking Tuesday night class. Not because she just killed 2 people, it's just she's gonna miss her Tuesday night class.
You're all on body camera being completely careless about killing 2 people tonight. You could care less. That's sad and pathetic and horrible all at the same time.
Can you say that as a cop?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay, so can I ask when I can go back to school?
I'm not the officer on the scene here, but I can answer the question for you. 14 years, and you can go back to school. And hopefully, if you do go back to school in 14 years, everyone bullies the shit out of you and never lets you forget this moment, and never lets you forget what you did. I don't think you should be able to go back to school in 14 years. I think that is way too lenient of a punishment for what you've done. I think the sentence should have been much longer here, for sure. But I wasn't the judge on the case, so it's clearly not up to me here. I think she is irredeemably stupid, and I do think stupidity can reach a level where it is dangerous, like in a case like this, where you become a danger to everyone around you because you are such an absolute bumbling fucking moron.
As Charlie mentioned, Melgoza ended up getting sentenced to 14 years, after pleading guilty without a plea deal to 2 charges of aggravated DUI and 2 charges of reckless driving. During the hearing, Melgoza appeared remorseful towards the victims, stating, "I know words can't help forget what happened, but I'm truly sorry from the bottom of my heart. I never meant to hurt anybody. I feel so sorry for the pain I've caused you. I'm sorry that they're not here anymore, and I will not forget them. I'll live with this every day." However, Charlie was not fully convinced of her sudden change of tone.
I still don't believe she has any level of remorse for the victims here. I truly don't. I understand she was drunk, but I used to get drunk a lot, and if you told me I so much as pushed somebody and hurt them, I would have been inconsolably upset that I was responsible for something like that, even while fucking inebriated. Like, it's not like when you're drunk, all of a sudden you become a callous statue that can't process emotion or process any level of information, because she acknowledged multiple times that she understood 2 people died from what happened. She just still didn't care. She kept singing and dancing and just talking about school and how it might be an inconvenience to her. So I really do think that even while sober, she just doesn't fucking value anyone's life that she doesn't personally know. I know this is me getting very like armchair psychologist about all of it, but it's just the impression I get from the body cam footage as well as reading the rest of the story. I think she is irredeemably stupid and evil and dangerous. So just wanted to talk about this story a little bit. That's about it. So yeah.
That said, if you like these compilation videos of Charlie exposing some of the worst people on the planet, comment down your suggestions for the next type of outrageous people I should feature.